So I'm going to start with a couple of brief introductions. I'd like for John Cochran, our pastor, to stand up, please. John. He is our pastor here at the church. Okay. Could all of our musical participants, those of you from the faculty, would you all stand at this time? I know we have Dr. Nico there, and we have three others over here. Okay, excellent. And a few quick words. This has been the brainchild of Paul Kothar. Paul, where are you?
He's outside.
Oh, he's outside. Anyway. And then there's somebody who is not with us, who was another major big player, and that is, I don't think that she is here, and that is Dr. Thornton. Did she come in at some point? Anyway, Dr. Thornton is the chair of the department, and she is the trumpet professor, and we owe her a huge debt because I think that she gets tons of credit for recruiting y'all, and we're very grateful for her doing that. This is the first in a series. We're going to be having other performances as the season progresses, and we're all thrilled to see all of y'all. This is wonderful. I think I recognize all of my people, and there's a lot of faces that I don't know. I did go to TAMU CC whenever it was CCSU about half a century ago. I did my teacher certification with Dr. Sam Logston, who is now deceased, but he was a charming man and a wonderful mentor, and I think there are those of you who probably remember Sam. And I have three children, all who went through there, and it was already TAMU CC whenever they went through. One of them was a music major, and she a few people, I don't know if anybody's left there who remembers her, but that's Madeline Bryce, my sweet daughter, and she's now Madeline Monroe. So I've had a long personal history with the Corpus Christi State University as well. TAMU CC, I can't really call it that. Okay, has everybody been given directions to the restroom? If you're mystified and you're new, you just exit any of these exits, but then you go all the way down here, and there's a little hallway down behind this peristyle, and you're going to go down there, and the restrooms are immediately on the left. Okay? And I have, if I've missed anything, too bad. So we are going to get started now, so we can enjoy the music.
Thank you to St. John's United Methodist Church for hosting us. My name is Caitlin Bear. I'm the clarinet professor at TAMU CC. We're going to get started with some Donizetti tonight. And if you know Donizetti, you might know his operas. But this is actually a work for unaccompanied clarinet. So normally you might hear clarinet and piano, but this is just clarinet. And this is actually one of the earliest pieces for unaccompanied clarinet. It was written in 1821. I think this is actually the oldest piece on the program tonight. We have a lot of pieces from the 20th and 21st centuries. But Donizetti actually wrote this for his friend and classmate at his musical high school in Italy, his classmate who was a clarinetist. And this is kind of part of the lineage of composer-performer relationships like Mozart and Stadler. Benny Goodman and Copland. Copland wrote his clarinet concerto for Benny Goodman in the 1940s, 30s and 40s. So we've gotten a lot of amazing pieces of music from those types of collaborations. This piece, it's not, you might be a little operatic in some moments, but it's in sonata form. So you got the opening exposition, you get a contrasting, more chromatic development, and then you come back to the exposition with a little bit of a coda. And hopefully it's easy to follow and enjoyable. Thank you again for having us.
Many times I stand up to perform, but tonight I'm going to sit down. That's because the pieces that I'm about to play for you tonight are not necessarily virtuosic showpieces, the way Dr. Baer just played, you know. Pieces tonight, if you see on the program, these are world premieres, which means you are the first audience in the world to hear them performed live. These pieces are part of a larger project that I have going on with a number of composers throughout the world who are writing these special pieces for me called lullabies. I prompted them with the idea of to write a lullaby for solo bassoon. And so they're very introspective, kind of contemplative pieces. And tonight I'm proud to present two more to the world, and hopefully I'll play them a few more times throughout the country and world and such. But you get to hear them for the first time. The first one is by a composer from Maine. She's in Maine right now. I don't know if she's from Maine or not, but she lives in Maine, and her name is Lindsay Wheel. And she's written a beautiful little piece called A Music Box. And if you think of the music box, you know, winding up and then also winding down, you might hear that in the piece of music. The second piece I'll play for you is by a Swiss composer named Gotthard Odermatt. And he's written a beautiful piece, Wiegenlied, which simply means lullaby. So I usually don't say this to my audiences, but if you happen to nod off, fall asleep a little bit, that's actually okay in these pieces, you know. So anyway, Lindsay Wheel's Music Box, followed by Gotthard Odermatt's Wiegenlied. Oh, and I did want to say just a little something. Dr. Thornton, the leader of our department, is regrettably not here tonight because she's booked she plays with the Victoria Symphony Orchestra, and they have rehearsal this evening. Otherwise, she would have been here. So she does send her regrets.
While Dr. Messing is getting up here, I made a mistake. I omitted to make an announcement. There are some brochures in the narthex. Dr. Messing and Dr. Baer have coordinated a Sound Waves Festival, and I know if a lot of young people are here. I think you must all be college students. You probably know what's going on with that. I know that my fellow church members do not. So for details, look for these brochures on the little table between the doors as you leave tonight. Okay, check that out. Thank you, and sorry for being
Yes, thank you. Yes, the Soundwaves Festival is an annual event that happens in early fall, and we bring in a guest composer. We will also have some guest musicians for some of our events and master classes to present on their unique instruments. So we have a whole week's list of activities coming up. September 23 through 27, so love to have you there as well. So I'm the oboe and music history professor at A&M Corpus, and this is not an oboe, this is actually an English horn, which is a family member of the oboe family. It's lower in pitch. And this instrument has been around for quite a while, popularized by composers like Johann Sebastian Bach. And in orchestral music, it's usually a solo instrument because it has a very distinctive sound quality, it's timbre. So it's really fun when we get solo unaccompanied pieces that are more contemporary. And the piece that I'm playing today is by Jenny Brandon in the City at Night, and she lives in Long Beach, California. And I had the pleasure of going there this summer. I performed this piece at an international conference in Arizona, and then got to hang out with her at the beach. And it's right near, Long Beach is right next to Los Angeles, and so this piece, In the City at Night, you can envision many different noises that you might experience wandering around the city at maybe some odd hours of the evening and into sunrise. So there's some calm and serene moments, and then some more energetic, maybe some aggressive honkers driving around, and maybe some flashing lights. So.
everyone. My name is Dino Mulic. I was born and raised in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I came to the United States in 2011 to pursue my doctoral degree at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. After I earned my degree, I worked for 2 years at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Prior to my time here at TAMU, I joined the music faculty at TAMU in the fall of 2017. And from the beginning, I love these people, I love its city, I love our students, and I think all my life I wanted to live nearby the water, so it's a perfect situation for me. And for tonight's performance, I chose the pieces from the composers that I have personal connection with. When I was at school, I played a variety of composers from different eras, and now I'm at this stage that I can play music that my heart wants to play. So tonight you will hear pieces by Josip Magdic, the first piece on my program, and this piece is called Bend Pasha. Bend Pasha is the most beautiful sevdalinka, Bosnian sevdalinka. Sevdalinka is a traditional Bosnian love song. And interesting thing that Bosnia and Herzegovina has a national anthem, and the national anthem does not have words. And so this Bend Pasha, the piece that you're going to hear tonight, the people of Sarajevo, we adopted this one as our city anthem. So everyone knows the piece, it's well known, and so hope you will like it. The second piece on the program is called Balkan Madness, composed by Samir Fejzic, a colleague of mine. He's a professor of music theory in music high school in Sarajevo, school that I graduated. And Balkan is famous for many things, unfortunately for its war that was happening through 1991 through 1995. And I was 11 years old at the beginning of the war. I survived the war for 4 long years, and that experience has changed me forever. So now I teach my students, I travel the world, and I preach about music education and education in general. And in this piece, you will hear a little bit of that chaos, but you will also hear some beautiful melodies. And it's the second time I play this piece, and I think I'm going to play for the rest of my life. It's that beautiful. And then the last piece on the program is a set of etudes written by Boris Papandopoulou. Boris Papandopoulou is a Croatian composer who lived in my home city for 4 years. He was director of Sarajevo Opera, and when he went back to Croatia, my grandfather bought an apartment from him that was right next to the National Opera. And so I often joke that I have a personal connection to Papandopoulos' music because the walls, could speak the music, and I was able to hear the music while growing up in that apartment. So all 8 etudes are very characteristic and very fast, articulate. So I hope you will like tonight's program, and thank you all for being here tonight. thank you again for coming in, and we hope that you'll join us for the next recital here next month. I guess it's going to be a combination of student and faculty. So please come join us again next month. Thanks again.